The Beatles riffs and Beach Boys hooks, who's brought the 3-minute song firmly into the 90s. But as we find out, he's really just a kid from Nebraska. Matthew Sweet, welcome to the show.
Thanks very much.
It's great that you're here. Whoa, whoa. So it's great. I love your sound.
Thank you.
You know, it reminds me of just how complex the Beatles, with all the vocal harmonies and stuff, was. I mean, it's a fun milieu to play in. Do you like to write songs?
Oh, I love to write songs. You know, I was really into music from a pretty young age and loved the Beatles. You know, my parents had mostly the soundtrack albums from the Beatles, like Help and Hard Day's Night, and I loved that stuff. And it did seem very complex to me at that time.
You know, and it wasn't about trying to get your voice out, particularly like so many songs are today. Not that that's bad or anything. I remember when you'd listen to a Beatles album, you'd go, I want to do that riff or do that little thing. I remember the White Album and My Guitar Gently Weeps. Everybody wanted to do that riff. What was your favorite Beatles riff?
Oh man, you know, I love like the Revolver era. I really like the White Album as well, when they're sort of more raw and kind of, they kind of have a don't care sort of attitude then. But they were very, very creative in the way they put things together and built their tracks. And you can hear that, especially now that more of the stuff with the anthologies and everything has come out. You can see really, you know, I think there's you have this impression of the Beatles, like you only think of them in terms of the end result, but in fact, like they would play a song, you know, 15 or 20 times and it would be nothing like the one you know, and then they would sort of get one that was that way, and that would be the one they would use. But yeah, I never even really began to try to take apart what they did or understand it, but more try and be inspired by just their vibe and what came out of them, you know. You
have a relationship with REM and did during the 1980s, long before they were terribly hot, correct?
Well, yeah, really I think of it as being just before they really took off. I was going to high school in Lincoln, Nebraska, where I grew up, and I used to buy a magazine from New York called New York Rocker. It was kind of a newspaper type underground rock magazine, and the record store in Lincoln would get it. And I read about their 45, which they had made themselves on I think their label was called Hibtone, and it had Radio Free Europe, and the B-side was Sitting Still. And I really liked Sitting Still a lot. It gave me this little chill when I would hear it, and I just had a feeling they were really going to be great, you know. And they came through Lincoln and played at the local rock club, the Drumstick, and I went to see them play, and there really weren't very many people that first time, probably 10 or 15 people went to see them or something, and I showed up with my 45, and they're like, wow, somebody in Nebraska has our 45. And I was also real interested in Mitch Easter, the guy who produced them and later had a group called Let's Active, and so I was asking them all about him, and I kind of became pen pals with Michael a little bit and with Mitch, and I started getting cards from people in Athens. You know, I played my first 4-track tapes for those guys that I was making in my bedroom.
Not bad.
They were real encouraging, you know, to me and stuff. So they were really made a difference in my life when I was very impressionable and young.
You know, I was thinking about your background. I mean, you say that the New York Rocker came to Lincoln, Nebraska, and people think, oh, you know, Lincoln, God, that's nowhere. But like Athens, Georgia, I get the sense that the Omaha, Lincoln area has a kind of hipness to it. Nebraska
definitely.
is kind of hip.
Lincoln's a pretty liberal town. You know, like you said, it's like, or did you say that it's the capital city? There's the university is there. You know,
you got your Warren Buffett in Omaha. You got your big people. You got your Deborah Winger dating the senator.
Oh yeah, yeah. Carrie, Bob Carey, when she came to town. I was an extra in terms of endearment.
Really? See, there you go. The scene, the Nebraska
scene. And there's a new band, 311, came out of Omaha. They're selling millions of records now. And
all right, we're going to hear from your band, so we're going to take a break and hear a song from your album, Matthew Sweet in Performance, when Edgewise returns. That's Come to Oregon from Matthew Sweet. No, Come to California, of course. Let's get right to another performance, our all-new performance. This has never been heard before. It's by Ben Harper, the intense, the heartfelt Ben Harper, who, if you heard our interview with him a few weeks back, you found out he's huge in France. His new album, The Will to Live, is really terrific. And now you're going to hear something from his first album, Ben Harper with Waiting on an Angel.